Loud. Okay, guys. So I am Jennifer Anderson. Let's see. Oops. Can't say my name. Oh. Okay, I'm Jennifer Anderson, Superstar Director for Radiant Rockstars. And so I kind of am doing this special call tonight because I heard through the grapevine that star and superstar consultants are feeling some kind of way. Like maybe you're feeling tired, maybe you're feeling exhausted, maybe you're feeling excited, maybe you're feeling like there's no light at the end of the tunnel and you're never going to reach your goal. Maybe you are discouraged, maybe you are encouraged. So it was really interesting. I kind of heard from a couple different star and superstar consultants last week, and I was like, that's it, I'm just gonna do a Zoom. Like, we just gotta get together and talk about all of this stuff. So it's really interesting to see who's joining us tonight, because some of you, I feel like some of you are in different place in your business. So it's kind of like split right down the middle. So some of you have been consultants for years, right? And maybe you feel like you're stuck at this star or superstar level and you want to be a director, but like, you're just like, I've been here for a year, or I've been here for 2 years and I don't really see it happening. And then some of you are brand new star or superstar consultants and you have crazy momentum and you're on the path to director and directors in your sights and it's going to happen. So I'm going to kind of talk about both of those mentalities, but what I feel like the reason that I want to do this is because I feel like whether you're of one or the other mentality right now, I feel like at the star and superstar level, you guys all deal with struggles that are really unique to this title, to these titles, really unique to this stage of business. And I will fully, openly, and honestly admit that I feel like the star and superstar consultant stages of the business are really hard. They're really difficult, and it's not easy to just promote to director. It's not easy to just get paid at title all the time. And what I hear from a lot of you is, typically how frustrated you are with the lack of engagement from your team, right? Or you can't get anyone to respond to you or give a crap or want to reach a goal or any of those things. And I know what that's like. I've been there. I am still there. It's sort of, I want you to get in the mindset that it's sort of always going to happen, right? And the reason is that everybody joins Sensi for a different reason. And when people join, they all have different goals. They all have different things they want to achieve. And I think especially when your team sizes are anywhere from 5 to 25, it's really easy, first of all, because you know every name, right? You probably know where they live. You probably know a little bit about each person. It's really easy to get super invested in each person and expect them to almost have the same goals that we do, or the same drive or work ethic, or think that they want to achieve the same things that we do. It's super easy to do that. And I think it's sort of a learning curve to train your brain to not get so invested in each and every person that joins your team, so that when and if they don't do what we expect them to do, we're not so heartbroken over it. Because I think at the heart of the star and superstar consultant level, your hearts are so good. Your hearts are in such the right place. You want everyone to succeed. You want everyone to, because you know what this business can do, right? You see your director, you see your superstar director, you see life-changing income, you see what can happen with this business, and you want it for these people so bad, right? That's at the heart of what you're doing. But what happens is we've put these expectations on people and they never asked for them, right? And they don't want them maybe, And all that happens is we get disappointed and heartbroken. That's it. I feel like nothing good ever comes of us setting expectations of other people. Nothing good ever comes of it. It's different in like, a marriage relationship, but like in a business relationship, nothing good comes from setting expectations on other people. So it's between you and your team, also between me and you, right? Nothing good comes from me setting an expectation on you that you're going to get paid at title, or you're going to reach director, or you're going to show up every time, or you're going to always answer my whatever, right? Or you're always going to be engaged. Nothing good would come from me having that expectation on you, because the reality is you have life, things happen. Like ebb and flows of business. Sometimes things happen in your life and they must take priority over your business. So for me to put expectations on anyone does nothing good for you, for them, or for me. Does that make sense? So you kind of want to get in that mindset as a leader, that if you really learn to manage and control the expectations you put on other people, it makes for better, happier, healthier relationships all around. You're able to really love and mentor your team well when you don't have those expectations on them. You are really able to be open and free and truly have their best interest at heart when you're not so concerned with, well, why don't you want to be a star consultant like me? Why don't you want to be a director? Why don't you want to make $1,000 a month? Right? Because I know it's really easy. And trust me, I get it. I'm like, why wouldn't you want $1,000 a month? It doesn't make any sense to me. But that's because I'm a different person with different values and my brain works differently. And it's okay. So what I want you to do as a leader, every single person on this call has a team member, or 2 or 10, right? I want you to really learn. I want you to evaluate where you're setting expectations on your team, and start to really look at yourself and say, okay, am I setting an unfair expectation? Am I expecting something of this person that I really shouldn't? Is this really even what they want? And if they haven't told you this is what I want, then there's no reason to set that kind of expectation. Now, there is an accountability type of thing. It's okay to hold someone accountable. So if someone comes to you and says, I have a goal of selling 1,000 PRV this month, it's okay to hold them accountable. But even still, in your mind and in your heart and in your brain, you have to not have an expectation that they're going to reach 1,000 PRV. There's always hope, right? We want to really encourage them and point them in that direction. But manage your expectations. It makes for better relationships all around. And relationships are the foundation of this business. This is exactly how you grow and build your team. So I hope that at least gives you like a foundation to start from. I really do think that is at the heart of a lot of disappointment with our team. And even in our own businesses, I think that's at the heart of a lot of times why we become disinterested, disengaged, unmotivated. I really believe that's at the heart of it. So if you can learn to manage your expectations and recognize when you're doing it wrongly or doing it falsely, and then be able to step back and just truly, fully love someone and desire their greatest good, man, it gets so much better. You're just happier. So I have a few things that I wanted to share with you. Just like raise your hand if you are currently maybe frustrated with your business, or you don't really see yourself, like you see yourself moving past where you're at, but you don't really know how to get there. You don't really know what to do. Just raise your hand so I can see. It's okay if you are doing this. That's fine too. Yep. Okay. Okay, good. Good. Okay. Somebody got some music. Hey, I like it. Okay. So I'm going to share some, if you're currently at a point in your business where you're not really working consistently, or you have been MIA for a little while and you're trying to pick it back up, or you're maybe new to the star or superstar consultant levels, and you kind of are like, how do I move forward from here? This is what I'm going to tell you. And this is honestly, there are several of you on this call who have this down pat, and are already really good at this, and that will be our like final point will be for you. But the very first thing is that I want to tell you is you have to lead from the front. What does that mean? Lead from the front means that you are the engine of your organization. You're not the caboose. You're not the person pushing everybody up. You're the front runner. Okay. So I saw this quote. Let me see if I can find it. Gosh, I probably can't. Something like, the energy of the boss is the energy of the team. You know, so it was something like that, right? Lead from the front. Here's what that looks like. 500 PRV, non-negotiable by the 15th of every month. You're not rolling it in on the 30th. You're not staying up until midnight, 3 a.m., whatever, Eastern time, getting your orders in. You're not barely getting in 500. 500 PRV, non-negotiable by the 15th of the month. That's what leading from the front looks like. 500 PRV is not super difficult. If you're consistent in your business, if you're partying, whiff boxes, follow up, any of these things, 500 PRV is not that hard. It's just working your business on a daily basis, okay? It's just being a business owner. It's just being open for business, being a star, superstar consultant. Leading from the front also means 1 to 2 new recruits every single month. I know some of you are like, what? But yes, that's really, really what it means. That's foundation, that's basic. 1 to 2 new recruits every single month. Now, don't any of you already cut yourself out and say like, I can't do that because I see it on some of your faces. That's a lie. Because the truth is you can recruit because you've done it enough to be a star or superstar consultant. I just need you to recruit more and consistently. You've already done it. You have the proven skills. You know what it takes. You know how to recruit. You just have to do it more and consistently. And in order to get 1 to 2 new recruits a month, you have to be partying. You have to. Whether it's basket party, online party, Facebook party, home party, I don't care. You have to be partying. You have to be doing events and meeting new people. You have to be doing all of these things. You have to be doing follow-up. You have to be asking for referrals in order to get 1 to 2 new teamies a month. With your new teamies, you want to train your new recruits. 1 to 2 new recruits a month. You need to train them, get them dialed into shooting star and sensational start. Really, really, really focus in on sensational start. Think about it. If you have 1 to 2 new recruits a month, okay, and just one of those 1 to 2 every single month hits at least 1 sensational start level, think about all that extra TWV, GWV that's in your organization that you're not only making money on, but that's pushing you to that next promotion, to that ultimate gold director that you want. If you can consistently have 1 to 2 new recruits a month and one of them hits any sensational start level, if you've got 1 or 2 coming in every month, that means every single month someone's hitting a sensational start level after 70 days. Does that make sense? If you're continually recruiting, someone's hitting a level every single month, okay? Here's why recruiting is so important. Obviously, it's the answer to every problem you're ever going to find in this business. It's recruiting. Secondly, when you recruit consistently 1 to 2 a month, you consistently have a continual stream of launch parties happening within your organization. Launch parties are typically a consultant's largest PRV in their lifetime. Some of your consultants' largest PRV comes from their launch party in the very beginning because they're excited, they're pumped, they're juiced, right? They're really reaching out to everyone because they want to reach those sensational start levels, that shooting star. When you can have a continual stream of launch parties happening within your organization, that is literally like padding and fluff on your TWV and GWV for maybe some of your consultants who fizzled out or have just decided that I want to do 1 party a month, or I want to do 200 every couple months, and I'm okay with that. You've got to have continual launch parties happening in your organization. Consistent follow-up. This is leading from the front. Consistent follow-up. If you don't do it, like, Get over the excuses, quit saying you can't, quit saying there's not enough time, like just start doing it. I cannot preach this enough. We've talked about it so many times. You know what to do. You have an amazing, incredible tool in Maven. It's literally so simple. Maven does all of the hard work for you. Maven is an app on your phone. If you don't have it, you get it. I recommend the paid version. It's worth its weight in gold. You get the paid version, you get a notification. Hey, you have 15 open to-dos today. At 8 o'clock, you open your to-dos, text, done. You just did all your follow-up. If you're not doing consistent follow-up, get over yourself, get over your excuses, quit it, cut it out, and just start doing it. You're not going to be successful in Scentsy if you're not consistently following up. You're not going to get promoted. You're not going to reach director. You're not going to move to the next level if you're not consistently following up. Leading from the front also means training consistently yourself. You train yourself. How many of you show up for every Tuesday training call? Probably no one, right? Even if you can't go on live, it's recorded for you. It's posted to the training center. You need to be training yourself consistently. And trust me, I've been in Scentsy for a long time. You might be like, oh, I already know all about that topic. Listen, every time I go on, I learn something new. Every time I do a training, because it's a new perspective, someone else's brain that doesn't work like mine. It's not me. You guys hear from me a lot. You hear my perspective, my brain, the way I work. Hear from other leaders every week. Do it. It's important. Train yourself consistently. You cannot expect your team members to do any of those things that I just talked about if you're not doing them yourself. You have to lead from the front. Secondly, your business comes first. Always. Always, always, always. At the star and superstar consultant level, it's very easy to focus on your team. Right? How can I get my team more engaged? How can I get my TWV up? How can I get my team recruiting? Your own business has to come first. Do not worry about anything happening on your team until your own, all of those things I just said are taken care of. I'm dead serious. 500 peer review at the 15th, 1 to 2 new recruits a month, consistent follow-up, training your new recruits, training yourself consistently. If you're not doing any of those, you have no business even worrying about your team. And every day when you sit down and in business time, it's time to work your business, it's income producing activity time, you start with your own business. Do not even dive into your team until your own business stuff is done. If you have an hour to work your business, you should spend 50 minutes on your own and 10 minutes on your team. That's it. And you might be saying like, that's crazy, that's not enough time, I can't. Trust me. If what you're doing isn't working, if you're spending an hour on your team and 10 minutes on your own business and it's not working, it's time to trust Jennifer, okay? 50 minutes on your own business, 10 minutes on your team. Your own business has to come first. For a few reasons. One, if your own business doesn't come first, eventually your business will die, okay? No matter how big your team is, no matter how big your group is, how many directors you do or don't have, your business will die. Even as a superstar director, if my own business doesn't come first, if I'm not selling, recruiting, partying, following up, all these things, my business will die. I could maybe ride this income train for a little bit, but eventually here's what's gonna happen. Tank, done, bye-bye. And that's what happens to a lot of superstar directors because they think, I've arrived, I can stop working. Newsflash, no, you can't. You still have to work. You have to earn your income, your business first. The next thing is, if you do not already, you should have a Facebook group for your own team. Facebook group, Marco Polo group, whatever works for you. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I don't care. You should have something. Facebook group, Marco Polo group. Some of you guys have group chats. I think group chats are hella annoying. So if I ever got added to one, I would be like, peace out. Like, I'm a silence that for a little bit, but some of you guys like it. That's fine. Like, you do what works for you. In your group, you should be sharing every single day. And I know it gets tiring when nobody responds. I know it's frustrating when nobody likes or comments, and you can see how many people saw it too. And it's really, I know you go and look on the see who viewed it. Oh my God, these people saw it, but they didn't like it or comment it. Oh my God, 27 people saw this and only one person commented. Listen to me right now. Trust Jennifer. Don't do that to yourself. I wish that like that seen by however thing wasn't even on Facebook. Once your group hits 250, it goes away. So maybe you just need to add some random peeps so it goes away and you're not tempted to look at it. But listen, you got to train yourself to not look at it, okay? Train yourself to not even click that who saw this and didn't respond. Because also then when you go and post in your group and say 27 people saw this and only one person responded, no one likes to be scolded. No one likes to be told what to do. Nobody likes to be said. No one likes to feel like they're doing something wrong or they're not living up to your expectations, right? It's a bad cycle. Don't do it. Don't have those expectations. You need to post in your group every single day, and here's all you're going to do. Every single day, you're going to share how you're working your own business. That's what the very best leaders do. The very best leaders in Scentsy, because you're leading from the front, they share in their group every single day how they're working their business. I don't care if you're going to the post office, if you're labeling stuff, doing follow-up. I mean, I don't care if you're like messy bun and sweatpants and working from your bed or eventing and partying, whatever you're doing, share how you're working your business that day. Because it does a couple things. One, it builds credibility. People start to look at you and say, okay, she's someone who actually works, right? They start to trust you more. The more credibility you have, the more they'll trust you. Secondly, it could inspire them to take those same actions. So many consultants join Scentsy and they have no idea what to do. Like every day they're like, what do I do today? How do I work this business day? They have no idea what to do. So you can inspire them to do those same things. Or thirdly, you can inspire them to take action in a completely different way. But here's the key. You have to do it every day. Every single day. And if you have a rest day like I do, I have Sunday as a rest day, post in a group on Sunday and say, today's my rest day. I'm recharging. I'm refueling. I'm so excited about this week coming up. That's it. Leave it at that. Post in your group every single day and do not stop. You can't do it for a week or 2 weeks or a month and be like, it's not getting better, and then quit. You cannot do that. You must do it every single day. Do you know that the Radiant Rockstars group on Facebook used to have like 11 people in it? I started out just like you. Radiant Rockstars group that has, I don't even know how many people in that Facebook group now. A lot. It had 11 people in it at one point. So you know what I did? I posted every single day. I didn't worry about who saw or didn't see it. I was consistent. And if you're really, what I started to do is like, because I mean, I remember being like, it's like pulling teeth to get people to talk to me, right? So then when that kind of stuff happens, then you have engagement posts. Just ask people's opinion. It has nothing to do with Scentsy, nothing to do with your business. What shirt should I wear today? Hey guys, I'm going to the hairdresser. What do you think would look better on me? People love to give their opinion, just like we do on our regular Facebook pages. Do it in your group page. Just get people talking. Get people responding, okay? The next thing, as a leader, a star consultant, a superstar consultant, you have to make the choice to always see the good. Always. Always see the good. And you know what? You literally have to make it a rule in your life. You have to make it a rule in your business, in your life, in your Facebook page, in your group. You have to choose to always see the good, because life is going to throw so many crappy things at you. But no matter what is going on around you, there is always something good happening. And you have to choose to be positive and a person who sees the good and then points people to look at what's good. Because there are going to be people on your team who only look at what's bad. And it's going to take you saying, hey, let's look at what's right with this situation. Let's focus on what's right. That spreads like wildfire. Negativity spreads like wildfire. But the more light, the more hope you can shine, the more good things you can point people to, the better it is in the long run. And again, it's doing it consistently and not giving up. You have to make it a choice and make it a rule. Always believe that Scentsy is choosing what's best for you. That's what a good leader does. star and superstar consultants, you have to model this behavior for your team. Always have Scentsy back, right? Always believe that Scentsy's making the right choice. Always back Scentsy. And trust that at the heart of Scentsy's decisions, they really are making choices that are best for us as individual business owners. The next thing is you need to utilize Scentsy's training and tools. Scentsy has so much training and tools. I'm always blown away at what we get for $99. Like, and what people get for $99 when they join Scentsy. I'm blown away. Like the free marketing, the training center, thousands and thousands and thousands of trainings, training documents, PDFs. Utilize Scentsy's training and tools. Do not recreate the wheel. Do not feel like you have to come up with training programs, leadership outlines, like recruiting programs for your team. You don't have to do all that stuff. Utilize Scensy's training and their tools. Use it in your own business. Show your team how to use it in their own business. So that's for those of you who are maybe new to leadership roles, or you've been in a leadership role for a while and you're kind of stuck or fizzled, or you've been MIA, like I said, and you're ready to get back in and you want to grow again. That's for you. Or if you don't know what to do. Or you know what, if any of those things I just went over, you don't have down pat and you're not doing, like, that's where we start. That's where we start. For those of you who have those down pat, and there are several of you on this call, there are several of you on this call who lead from the front, put your business first, share in your group every day, always see the good, utilize Scensy's training and tools. There are several of you who recruit consistently, who've got your PRV solid. There are several of you who are creative and excited, but you can't seem to outgrow what your team is losing, right? You're recruiting every month, but your team loses the same amount. So you can't seem to grow past a certain number. You can't get your TWV to grow past where you want it to be. So you're doing all the right things. You're doing everything that I've taught you, but you're stuck. Something's not working. So for those of you who just heard those things for the first time, once you master those, then this is where you go. For those of you who've already mastered them and are doing them, and that's several of you here, here's where we go. In order for you to move past where you are right now, here's what's required. Massive action. It's very simple. Massive action. Those two words. Massive action means doing something big and scary, doing things that you don't normally do, doing things that are outside your normal mastery, right? Like you've already mastered those other things. These things are important and the foundation of running a good, solid business all the way through Superstar Director. Superstar Directors must be masters of these things and must do them every day in your business. But for your business to grow, if you just want to maintain, just do the things I talked about. That's just maintenance. If you want to grow, if you want to reach director, superstar director, if you want your TWV to grow, massive action. This is where we live. Here's what massive action looks like. Recruit 10 people in the next 90 days. That's massive action. Massive action is doing something big, like making a big shift, a big change. Recruit 10 people in the next 90 days, and for every single person, you're going to focus hard on sensational start. Hard. 10 people, 90 days, sensational start. So let's talk about if you had 10 recruits over the next 90 days, achieve just the very minimum sensational start level 1, okay? What is that? That's 15,000 extra PRV in your organization over the next 90 days. 15,000. That alone could get you to director if they were just to reach sensational start level 1. 10 people, 90 days, sensational start level 1, that's 15,000 PRV. That's massive action. Now let's say out of those people you have someone reach level 2 or level 3, it's even more, okay? You also teach them the cycle When you get someone engaged into Sensational Start as soon as they join, and this goes for all of you who are even starting to master recruiting 1 to 2 recruits a month, Sensational Start, you've got to train them immediately, get them excited, focus on Sensational Start, sell them the Shooting Star Kit, sell them why it's important, get them excited, go do their launch party with them, show them how to do a launch party, walk them through the workstation. 10 people, 90 days, Sensational Start. Here's another piece of massive action. Sell at least 2,500 PRV every month for the next 90 days. That's massive action. So let's think about, you have 10 people, Sensational Start level 1. You're selling 2,500 PRV at least a month for the next 90 days. That's 7,500 PRV plus 15,000 PRV from your new recruits. That's 22,500 PRV in your organization over the next 3 months. That's a lot. That's director. Done. Done and done. DIRECTOR, done and done. Massive action. And I would say, for the sake of consistency and business mastery and those things that we talked about, that means it's at least one party and event every single week over the 90 days. So not like cramming it all in at the end of 90 days, it's at least one every single week. You have to take massive action. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you keep doing the same things you've always done, your business will stay exactly the same. And I know you have life. I know you have kids. I know you have school. I know you have work. I know you have church. I know you have other commitments outside of your business. But if you really, truly want things to change, then something's got to change. Something has to explode, massive action. Something has to go big or go home. You can't keep doing the same things over and over and think, I'll get to director at some point. That's not how it happens. It happens by taking massive action. And from that massive action, you get beautiful momentum. Momentum is more powerful than like any other thing in this business. When you have momentum, it's not only good for your own soul and spirit and your own energy, but your team picks up on it too. Man, if I'm not recruiting, guess what? It just is like, it's how it goes. If I'm not recruiting well, my team isn't recruiting well. If I'm recruiting well, there's momentum and it happens. My team starts to recruit. If I'm recruiting 10 people in 90 days and they're all hitting Sensational Start, odds are a few of those people are also going to be recruiting because of momentum. It's what happens. Now, here's something I also want to share with you. So I went into once you become a director in Sensi, you get access to a Sensi directors page on Facebook. And it's pretty cool because you kind of have like access to home office. You have access to this field of 2,000 other directors. It's really, really good. So I went in this group today and said, hey, what would you say to star and superstar consultants, who want to be a director, maybe frustrated, maybe new, whatever. What are some of the best kind of tips and advice that you would give? And the reason I did that is because, number one, like I said, you hear from me all the time, same point of view, same brain. My brain works the same way. Everything I just told you, there are things I probably already told you before, right? Or maybe you've heard them before, but sometimes you just need to hear them in a certain way or hear them all together to have it make sense for you. So I wanted to get people who have different brains and different ideas and who think differently than me. Also, guys, very honestly, it's been 7 years since I've been a star or superstar consultant. 7 years. It's a long time. And the things I do in my business today as a superstar director, they look very different from the things that I did as a star and superstar consultant. And it's honestly really hard for me to remember the actions that I took to get me to director. Additionally, things that I did 7 years ago probably wouldn't even work today because culture changes so much in 7 years. Our business changes. Like I didn't use I'll tell you right now, I didn't even use Facebook 7 years ago. When I promoted to director, I don't even think I had a Facebook page for my team. Like it was like a new thing that I created later. So like social media, I mean, we had it, but it wasn't like I ran my business on social. It was very different. So the things that I did back then, like probably wouldn't even work today. So I wanted to go on and get some different ideas and opinions. So I'm going to share with you some things that people said. Over and over and over and over again, people said consistency is key. Do not give up. You have to be consistent. Don't quit. You guys have seen that graphic, right, of the two miners mining through the tunnel. And there's this like diamond mine over here and one miner. He's so exhausted and he quits right here and he like turns around and walks away and he has no idea. And the other miner keeps going and he's like almost to the, like, you can't quit. You cannot quit because you never know what's going to happen in your business or who you're going to recruit that's going to change your business forever. Really. So over and over and over again, directors, star directors, and superstar directors from all over the world all said, be consistent, don't quit. Be consistent, don't quit. Here's what they said. Keep adding new people. You've got to find those people who are hardworking like yourself. Dana says, I talk about sifting for gold. Some find gold earlier than others, but to always keep sifting because you will find it. Have you guys ever seen that show Gold Rush on TV? Just nod if you have. No? Am I just like a super geek? Nobody watches Discovery Channel? I know you guys are all watching Kardashians on E, but I watch Discovery Channel, okay? Okay, so Gold Rush. It just follows these gold miners like out in Alaska and Canada and these really cool places. It is mind-boggling to me how much dirt they have to move to find gold. I'm talking tons and like thousands and thousands of tons of dirt, and they find gold that like fits in my soda can. They move so much earth and they dig so deep, then they have to wash it and process it. And they have to dig through all that dirt to find little tiny pebbles of gold. It's like unbelievable what they have to do to make like a ring. And so sifting for gold, that really is what it's like in this business. And so you have to get in that mentality. You can't have 10 recruiting conversations and expect to find your next rock star who's going to blow your mind and change your life forever. You have to sift for gold. You have to move tons of earth to find the gold. The main thing I can say is to remain consistent. Sometimes when you get discouraged, you stop trying, or you really pull back, which is the worst thing you could do at that point. Karen said, that was me. It was super tough. It took me almost 8.5 years to reach director. Now that I'm about to hit it for the 4th time in the 2nd straight months in a year. Keep doing what you're doing. Eventually it will happen. My friend Melissa said this, and this is one of the best pieces of advice I think in this whole entire thread. There's like 100 comments. I just want you to know that. Everyone was really excited. Melissa said this. She said, self-care. I've seen my team remotivate and re-energize when they focus on themselves. Literally themselves, not just their business, just them. Happy people bring the best out of others. It's such a nice shift. And then in hindsight, I've seen their business improve. Self-care. Do it for yourself, but also encourage your team to do it too. Dana said, I will also say that attitude and excitement is contagious. Pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and share what you know. Consistency, don't stop until it's done. Cass said this. She said to work from the bottom up. Help those under you hit beginning programs, certified, lead, and etc., and all boats will rise. And that is pure gold. Don't focus on finding someone who's going to be a superstar director in your downline. Focus on getting people to certified, early programs, get them to lead, get them to recruit one person, and find like so much empowerment and engagement in that, and all boats rise. Lead by example, teach your teams to do what you do, make it duplicatable. Find your stars and connect with them. Build a relationship with them so they can grow their potential self-belief. Having someone believe in you can be an absolute game changer. Keep them focused on moving forward. As soon as they have smashed a goal, give them another one, and don't let them think about going backwards. I always push mine for their next goal. Stacy said, excuse me, it just takes one to change your business. Have the mindset of growing wide. Growing wide means recruiting as many frontline as you possibly can. Create a community. Self-engage in daily conversations with your team and let them know and feel that they're valued. Katie said to never give up and to know that people's whys are constantly changing. So even if someone on your team doesn't seem like they may not be your top performer, their why could change at any moment and suddenly they need to start bringing in more income. Emily Thompson is a perfect example of that. Emily Thompson joined Scentsy, did nothing with her kit for 90 days, nothing. She was one of those recruits that joined in like flatline. She didn't do the end shooting star, no sensational start. I could have just cut her out and been like, forget it. Like she's gone, she's a goner. We've all seen them, right? And it's very easy for us to be like, they're not doing anything. Well, here we are 3 years later, I don't even know, 2 or 3 years later, Emily's like a rocking consultant. She has over 4,000 PRV this month, consistently over 2,000 PRV. She's recruiting like a boss. She's going to be a director. You know what I mean? You never know when someone's why is going to change. So don't give up on your people. If they want to sell 200 every month or once every 3 months, let them do it. Let them do it. Don't push your dreams on them. Let them do it. And then maybe someday their why will change. Amanda said, I remember the shift began to happen when I started acting as if I was already a director. I wanted to be a director, so I began to act like one. I also noticed that my excitement had to light their fire. I know people can't motivate each other, and that comes from within, but we have to stay engaged with our team, no matter what the size is. Some will catch the vision and it will become a domino effect. And that growth, whether it be small or large, slow or fast, you celebrate it all with your team. Celebrate them and they'll begin to follow suit and replicate your actions. Katie said, make sure you find your own motivation first. It truly starts with you first. Just like leading from the front, your own motivation, your own why, your own reason for doing this, same. It's the same. Discovering why you're doing this and letting it light a fire under you. She said, when I was a superstar consultant, right before I hit director, I told my team I was willing to do any and everything in my business so I could go back and teach them in theirs. I think doing these things can bring motivation and also start inspiring the team. Alex said this, and this is something I actually have been thinking about and like personally doing in my own business a lot lately. She said, change your recruiting mindset. Stop saying that it's easy or how little they have to work. Stop saying things like work from your phone. It's so easy. You attract those people when that's how you recruit. When you say things like, oh, you can work from your bed. You really can't work from your bed. You really have to put testers in people's noses. Hello? You really have to have a party. You really have to get up. You really have to put makeup on and go sell Scentsy at an event. Like you really can't work from your bed. That's a lie. It's not real. Maybe some days you sit and do follow-up from your bed, but you can't sell someone, oh, I just run my whole business from my bed. That is not reality. When you tell someone that and then they join your team, that's what they expect to be able to do. So then when they just want to have an online launch party, right? And they just want to work their business from their bed, you can't be pissed at them because that's what you told them it was. She said, you'll start attracting people who are driven and want more when you tell the truth. Also, start focusing your own trainings as a leader on valuable content and the value of recruiting. You guys have the ability to be training your own teams. Don't even sit here and think, I don't have anything to offer, or I'm only a star consultant, or I've only been in this for a few months, or whatever. Don't think any of those things. You should be training your own team. You got where you are on purpose. You didn't get there on accident. You got where you are on purpose, so train your team and teach them what you know. Catherine said, commit to always having 500 PRV minimum. Don't wait for your team to make numbers before you start trying. Here's my favorite thing. Double your front line. Double it again. You want to be a director? That's massive action. Double your front line, double it again. Susan said, share your team's success, all of them, big and small. Remind them of their why and check in on them regularly. But mostly work on yourself. The more your team sees you successful and growing, they want that for themselves. Work on yourself, self-care. Are you seeing a theme here? These are seasoned leaders all over the world. Work on yourself, self-care, and then don't just do it quietly, share it with your team. Because if they don't see you doing it and they don't know, how are they going to want it? Patricia says, recruit all the people, that's all. And I said, it's always the answer. That's always the answer to every problem in your business. Rachel said, consistency is key. You have to be consistent with what you're doing for a long time to see results. One day of hard work won't see immediate results. Weeks and weeks of consistent work will. Truly fall in love with your business. If your fire has burned out, you have to do something to light it. Then she said, love and release. Understand that you can't beat a dead horse. Teach someone, give them the tools, and then step back and watch. If the newbie steps up, then you work closely with them. Otherwise, be a friend, but don't scare them off if they just want to party every 3 months. If they keep trying, if you keep trying with a recruit that doesn't want it, it's exhausting and it makes your business miserable. You have to understand that not everyone wants the business, and that's okay. Searching for those rock stars gets mundane, but it's necessary. Again, definitely consistency. I was on the 5-year director plan. You should attend reunion yourself and encourage your team members to as well. Reunion is truly where the magic happens and where you see the potential that this business holds. For me, because I promoted pretty fast and was only a superstar consultant for like a month and a half, but it's remembering why I joined. Constantly meeting new people and building relationships. Parties, 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 parties are the best way to do both. Always be recruiting first before anything else. Build connections with your entire downline. I cannot stress this enough. Work with anyone in your downline no matter where they're at. Doesn't matter if they're your front line, 5 levels down, 15 levels down. It doesn't matter where they're at. You work with every single person the same. Because for a few reasons. One, you never know that any of those people could become your front line at any point in the business. All those people could leave or quit or abandon their business or who knows what. They could all become your front line. You need to have an existing relationship with them. Secondly, I know for me, a lot of my like directors and super rock stars are not my front line. They're people that have been recruited by a front line. Look for anyone who's consistent, who's a rock star, who wants it, who shows up, who asks questions. Look for anyone in your downline who's like that and work closely with them. Cannot stress that enough. I believe that when you help others understand getting paid at title and setting goals for both the current title and the next, the recruiting just naturally happens, as well as motivation can come back. Jason told us at boot camp to reward the behavior you want to see more of, just like with kids or dogs, right? Postcards, post on the team page, silly boomerang or Snapchat videos sent right to them, and don't just always acknowledge highest PRV or top recruiters. Reach out to this 3-monthers. Reach out to those 3-monthers and those that are just active too. The 3-monthers, what she means is reach out to people who are, going to cancel. Send them a funny Snapchat video. Don't send them a doom and gloom email, right? How dare you? How dare you leave this business? I was so invested in you. No, send them a funny Snapchat. Girl, get your 200 in. Keep it light. Ashton says, lead now. Don't wait for the title to act like a director. Take responsibility for your team and for your business. So those are some things that some other directors across the country had to say, across the world really, because there's people from region 2 and 3. who commented, but I hope that those were exciting for you. I hope that it was good to hear other perspectives. Go ahead and unmute yourselves if you have any questions, feedback, anything you want to say, anything you're feeling. Probably someone else on this is feeling it too. But more than anything, I hope that you felt like this was valuable and worth your time. Everyone is muted, so if you want to talk, you have to unmute yourself. Nobody got anything to say? This is so good.
If no one else is going to say anything, I want to talk about the verbiage.
I like it.
I feel like maybe one of my weak points is the verbiage with sponsoring conversations.
Okay.
I've been having so many more of them, and I feel like I'm judging people's initial reactions, okay? And they're like, okay, I'll think about it. And I feel like it's going much more to like, instead of like, yeah, I'd like to learn more about it, to almost brushing me off recently.
Okay. So it sounds like just by their reaction or their, what you're seeing as like, okay, I'll think about it. It sounds like you're basically just giving them information and not asking anything like reflexive in return, not really making them think. Or not asking them to engage with you. You're basically just giving them information and then hoping that they want it. Is that right?
Yeah. So like a very good example, one of my coworkers and his wife is having money troubles.
Mm-hmm.
And so I felt really uncomfortable. I wanted to talk to him about it for like over a year, and I finally just got real brave today. And I talked to him about it, and I was like, look, there's never any pressure, but like this, like you've seen what a blessing this is to me. And I definitely want to provide this sort of blessing to you and your family. If you're interested in it, like, I'd love to talk to you more about it. What do you think? And he's like, okay. And then he just kind of goes back to his desk. So I don't know, maybe it just has to be more reflexive, less me, more them.
So what I try to do, like, especially in a situation like that, where I'm not at an event, there's not a Scentsy product right in front of me. You know what I mean? I might say something like, have you ever thought about doing what I do? Short and sweet. I'm not getting mushy-gushy. I'm not like, this business is such a blessing to me. I want it to be a blessing to you. That's weird for people. You know what I mean? Sometimes people hear that and they're like, that's weird. So a lot of people outside of the direct sales world, the word blessing is weird. Right? If you're not like a Jesus follower or indirect sales and you hear like, this is such a blessing, they're like, I'm sorry, what? It's like, it's weird, right? It's like too touchy-feely. It's like too much. So I try and really stay away from that word. I'll keep it short and sweet, and I'll just say like, why don't you do what I do? Have you ever, or have you ever thought about doing what I do?
Yeah. I mean, so I will say the only reason why I use that word is I look into a lot of psychology, and that was his reflexive phrasing of like, we could really just use like a blessing right now. And I was like, because I'm not, so I was like, what has he said previously about it? And so I used his reflexive language towards him.
Okay, good. That's good. I just wanted to throw that in there in case that wasn't true. And because for everyone else, I need you guys to know, try and avoid that word unless someone else is already using it in conversation. If the person you're talking to is already using that word, like it's okay to maybe say it once. But if they're not, that's one of those words that can be like, that's too touchy-feely, right? I also feel like Scentsy, our company, we're probably one of the most like touchy-feely direct sales companies out there, because we are so like love and relationships and get to know everybody, and I just want the best for you. It's very different from a lot of other direct sales companies, businesses, opportunities. So it's really easy for us to go there with people, but that can be weird. That can be weird for people. So I try not to really reflect that or display that when I'm recruiting at all. And then once they get in the door, they're going to see like, okay, this company is actually legit. They care about me. They want the best for me. This is a good thing. But I try not to cover that at all when I'm recruiting. I try and keep it pretty basic.
Thank you.
And whenever I'm having a recruiting conversation, remember, only answer their questions. Never give up any more information than what they asked for. Because if you go further, they don't feel like they're in the driver's seat or in the control anymore.
Okay, so I have a question because I feel like I can recruit and get people to join. But then sometimes, like I have a couple that just joined, I guess, what was it, August, when we had the Disney Princess collection in the kit. I had like 4 people join and like 3 of them haven't done anything. Like they wouldn't let me help them with their launch party. They haven't sold nothing.
It happens. It definitely does happen. If you are, okay, so there is a great document. I think it's in the Radiant Rockstars files. It used to be in the workstation. I don't know if it is anymore, but it's basically like a sponsor checklist for a consultant's first 70 days.
Okay.
Like your role as the sponsor, it's like a 70-day sheet.
Because that just drives me absolutely bonkers. Like, why would you spend $99 and not want to do anything with it?
No, totally. I understand, right? So it's a couple of things. So if you're doing the 70-day sponsor checklist with every person and they're not engaging with you or they're not responding, it's just like one of the other directors said earlier, like you have to just like give them the tools, encourage them, and then you have to step back and let go and watch. If they respond and they show up, then you really invest in that person. If they don't, then you don't invest in them. And I understand, but it's just like we talked about at the beginning of the call, right? The expectations we set on people. I understand, especially when you get a new recruit, it's so exciting and you're so hopeful that they're gonna do it. And then when they don't, you get crushed, but it's because we set expectations. That's really the heart of it.
Okay.
So if you can manage how you view each new recruit, and instead of being like, oh my gosh, this is my ticket, be like, oh my gosh, congratulations, you just started a new business, put the balls in their court, make it their responsibility from the very beginning. I think it sets you up a little bit better. You cannot control the actions of others, everybody repeat after me. I cannot control the actions of others. That's something you just have to know. And people are going to join and not do anything. The last 5 people that have joined my team have done nothing. 5 recruits, 0. It happens. So just know that while recruiting forever and like having conversations forever and selling forever, that's part of your job. It's also going to happen forever where people join your team and they don't do anything. And you just move on. Like with Emily, like you're just there for them still. You know what I mean? You're there for them if they come to you and say, hey, maybe I want to do something. I'm not going to be like, no, girl, like you haven't done nothing in 90 days. Like, I don't trust you now. I was like, okay, I'll come and meet you for coffee. Let's go talk about it. So I drove an hour and a half and I met her for coffee and here she is today. So you're there for them if they ever decide something wants to change, but you don't chase after them. You don't invest. Your investment is better spent recruiting a new person. Anybody else? Does that answer your question, Linda?
That 70-day sponsor checklist, where did you say that I could find that?
So I think it's in the files tab of Radiant Rockstars. Let me pull it up.
Okay.
I'll double check. It used to be in the workstation, but it's kind of like an older document, but it's like awesome. Okay, it is in the files tab. It's called 70-day plan.
Okay, so I don't think I'm in Radiant Rockstars. I'm in Wickliffe Leicester.
Okay, just ask to be just ask to join it and I'll preview.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. So for every single one of you, you should definitely print out that 70-day coaching plan. Super, super helpful with training your new recruits. Anybody else? Thoughts, questions, struggles, celebrations? You hate my guts? You love my guts? Don't be afraid to talk. Hey, don't be scared. Okay, kids. Do you feel like this was valuable and worth your time? It's okay to say no. And if you mean, if no, then just message me and be like, yo, this was stupid. You're the worst. And I want a new SSD. And I'll be like, tough luck. Love you anyway. Love you.
I think it was very helpful. I took 2 pages of notes. So
Good.
thank you.
Yay, good. Okay, well, I hope that you are encouraged, and I hope that you're ready to take massive action. Okay? That's the only way anything's going to change. So for those of you who need to master the other things, master them. Quit making excuses. Quit thinking about everything else going wrong in your life, and like get this under control. Get those things under control. Because nothing good comes from mediocrity. Okay? My pastor said mediocrity is a recipe for death. And I was like, man, I need that tattooed like on my forehead. So true. Not really. That wouldn't be very cute or good for pictures, but I'm going to have to get bangs. Anyway, mediocrity is a recipe for death. So don't do it. Because you only get one life and you only get to do this once. So make it count. Take massive action. Quit making excuses. Get your shit together. Let's do it. Okay? I love you guys. Thank you for spending tonight with me. Bye.